Wow, people, we've actually reached the end of Boruto Naruto Next Generation's anime part 1, and I can't even believe it, dog. Like, I never thought we would actually see this day, considering the fact that Boruto Naruto Next Generations is 293 episodes long, but we are here. And talk about a crazy way to end the anime, to be honest with you. Talk about a way to bring in a finale that is just like, jeez Louise. Now, granted, in case you don't know, there's more to come with Boruto, and we're going to get into everything if you stay tuned, because we got a lot to talk about with this finale, dog. It's actually here. It actually happened. Boruto anime is off air for the foreseeable future until the return. Let's talk about it. The time is now. I must go. It's time to get out. And before we get started, if you would hit that subscribe button and that bell, or drop a like, a comment, share, whatever you want to do, but definitely subscribe if you're not already, because we be dropping some bangers, some heat over here. Now, with that being said, for starters, yo, mind-blowing fact right now, in case it didn't dawn on you, Boruto's anime currently now has more episodes, as of 2 weeks ago, more episodes than Dragon Ball Z. Yo, Dragon Ball Z had 291 episodes. Boruto Part 1, so to speak, has 293 episodes. That is mind-boggling to think that Boruto is that much more longer than Dragon Ball Z, but also, I guess, a testament to the amount of anime only stuff, or anime canon, or filler, if you want to go with that term, that Boruto's anime has, because how the hell do we have that many episodes, dog? Original Naruto was only 220 episodes, and that had a whole bunch of filler, but Jesus Louises, we had 293 episodes. But on top of that, here's the thing, is that it's not over, because in case you don't know, before we get into talking about what went down in this finale, Boruto's anime will be returning. It's like right now just ending essentially the part 1 of the series, but it will be returning moving forward with a part 2 and on. I want to say anywhere from 3 to 6 months. It could be longer based on the way some of the staff has been talking. It's going to be off air for a bit, but it will return at some given point. But still, damn, dog, it's kind of crazy that, you know, after all these years, it started the anime, I believe, in 2017. We've reached a conclusion, and it's nuts that the conclusion has nothing to do with the time skip, which is kind of maddening to think about. Like, you would have thought, and most of us thought, that Boruto was going to end right before the time skip, and then boom, it's going to return with Boruto Z, a new time skip, Boruto and them older, all of that good stuff, but that's not what happened at all. And honestly, this finale, episode 293, was really a very, very, I guess you would say, ominous, sad, and overall tragic finale for the most part, up until the very end, because for the most part it was like 20 something minutes of Kawaki beating on Code, going at it with Code, Ada talking, and Naruto in pain. That's kind of maddening to think that the finale of Boruto was Naruto in ultimate suffering, probably the hardest suffering that any person in life can ever go through, because episode 292 ended with Kawaki piercing through Boruto, with Boruto wanting it to get rid of Momoshiki, because Momoshiki is once again lurking around and taking over. And throughout this finale, Naruto was there mourning his son and not even wanting to accept reality, not wanting to accept, like, yo, my son is gone, because it starts off with him hugging him and saying, yo, Boruto, get up, come on, wake up, Boruto, get up. And I ain't gonna lie, I don't know if you feel me when I say this, but that had me emotional as hell. Shout outs to the voice actress of Naruto that really added to that performance. Of, you could hear it in Naruto's voice, he's cracking, he's falling apart, he don't even want to accept right now the reality of the situation, that, yo, your son has a giant hole through his chest. It's probably curtains for him, dog. Like, you know, it's over. And it's just really sad. And I ain't gonna lie, it makes me think, like, why the hell would Naruto, or, you know, the staff behind Boruto want to make the finale like this? Like, it was so tragic, and then it's like a glimmer of hope towards the end and whatnot. But gosh, like, talking about putting Naruto fans through the ringer. Like, it's bad enough already, like, yo, our series ended a bunch of years ago, but then on top of that, the finale of this series that still has Naruto, Sasuke, and them, it's just a damn near morning episode for the most part. Crazy. The interaction between Naruto and Shikamaru, I'm gonna keep it real. I thought there was a couple moments where I was like, yo, Naruto's gonna turn around and knock Shikamaru Shikamaru out, because Shikamaru's there trying to be, I guess, a voice of reason, because even though, yeah, Naruto is going through that crisis right there, Code is still there, and the threat to the Hidden Leaf is still going on right now. So Shikamaru is trying to like kind of reason with Naruto in a way. He's tapping him like, yo, dog, you know, we got a big battle going on right now. I understand you're going through some stuff, but there's a big battle, and I appreciate the fact that Naruto was like, I don't care about none of that stuff. He wasn't even acknowledging what Shikamaru was trying to tell him. He's just there like, this is my son. And that was honestly one of the most painful things you could probably ever put Naruto through. Like, you know, his kids and his wife is everything that he fought for throughout all of the original series. He fought for that happy life that he never got to have with Minato and, you know, Kushina as a kid. He never had his parents. So to be able to be a parent to his kids and to see what just went down, that's such a slap in the face to Naruto himself, of like the boy that dreamed and wanted to change the world, and then he thought he finally changed it, and it's like Madara was right in a way. Honestly, I wish that they would incorporate more things like that of Naruto thinking back to, you know, some of the stuff Madara said, because at the end of the day, cycle of hatred is still continuing. Granted, it's in a different facet. It's Kawaki's hatred towards these aliens, and at the same time, not even necessarily his hatred towards these aliens, but more so his obsession and drive to save Naruto's life. So it's a little bit different, I guess, than the cycle of hatred per se. Still, nevertheless, doesn't change the fact that massive amounts of pain was going on in that scene. And also, let's talk a little bit about Naruto's response to Shikamaru, because Shikamaru's there again trying to reason with him like, yo, dog, your son is gone right now. We got this threat over here, Code, but even aside from that, you're telling me that you can still rock with Kawaki? You telling me that you're good with this kid? We got to figure out what we're going to do with him. And when Naruto responds to Shikamaru that, yo, but he's still family. Because at the end of the day, it is a little bit of a tricky situation, right? Like, that's Naruto's son, Boruto, and what happened is beyond tragic. But then at the same time, Naruto's looking at it, well, one, Boruto wanted it because of the Momoshiki threat. Two, Kawaki wasn't doing it with malice. He was doing it as far as like wanting to protect Naruto. So Naruto's response of saying, with all of that being said, we're his family, and if his family can't stand by his side right now, then who will? That was powerful, and that just yet again shows like, you could maybe call it naive, maybe you could call it that it's just like, damn, Naruto, get your head out of the clouds with that optimistic stuff. But to be able to have that type of mindset despite what he's going through right there, that just goes to show the levels that Naruto is at. That maybe it's unrealistic, maybe it's like God tier, but I don't know. Like, I know for a fact myself in that situation, I couldn't be that calm and collected, nor could I be looking at Kawaki as anything other than, you're the bastard that took my son away. You know what I'm saying? So definitely a very, very tricky situation there, but Naruto's resolve, it just goes back to who he was in part one. And granted, some people might compare and be like, oh, how could he possibly even say things like that about Kawaki? Well, you're gonna say the same thing then back to, you know, Naruto Shippuden, when he forgave Obito, who was partially responsible for what happened to his parents, and Naruto's whole entire life of him being an orphan, and every bad thing that happened to him stemmed from Obito attacking the village. So if Naruto forgave Obito back then, yeah, he's gonna look at Kawaki, who he's been kind of raising as a surrogate son, also like, no, we gotta stay by his side. He's still family. So Naruto, a lot better of a person than most of us, because I don't think in that situation I could handle myself accordingly at all. I just flat out know that that's too painful. It's too much. And on a side note of that, we did get some action, and it was pretty freaking awesome. The art and animation looked pretty sick as well. Again, of Kawaki versus Code. Code trying to slither away, so to speak, but Kawaki, he kind of looked a little bit hacks. Like, it's crazy to say that Kawaki and Boruto, but especially you see in this one that Kawaki has advanced immensely, and he's arguably stronger than a lot of people in the village. Now, you can say for better or worse, because it's like, whoa, this random kid that had, you know, some testing done on him and some experimentation, because he has that karma mark, is stronger than a lot of people in the Leaf Village. And my answer to that is yes. Yes, he is. Because the whole point of this Boruto situation, well, the whole point of the Naruto verse in general has always been the next generation surpasses the previous generation. But even aside from that, is also just a demonstration of, yet again, that karma is a very, very powerful tool. It's a very powerful weapon that Kawaki didn't ask for as well. He didn't ask for it. He didn't tell, like, when Amado kept suggesting that shit, Amado was the one that tricked it to put it on him again. Which, on a side note, it was mad random that for the first time in the anime, they actually showed Amado smoking. They normally censor that out in the manga, but I'm assuming because it was the final episode, they're like, hey, we'll show his true character. But I was still kind of like, why on the final episode y'all gonna show him smoking? Like, I mean, I guess they think like, hey, it's the finale, but I'm still like, yo, if y'all went this far about kind of not promoting that aspect of the character, why do it now? It's like, Hamado in the fourth quarter in the final episode was like, yo, let me pick up a nasty habit. Why not? Madness, I tell you, madness. But it was freaking sick to see when Code was trying to dip out, Kawaki shrinking the claw mark and then hitting him with the rods and stuff like that. I always think, I don't care what anybody says, I always think about pain. I know that this is a Boruto thing and it was, an Ishiki attack, but I'm always going to think of pain with the rods and Jiraiya and all that stuff. I'm sorry. But when Kawaki was doing that on Code, and Code pretty much had to use a desperate tactic, that's when you know for starters that Kawaki's new karma and where he's at right now is massively hacked. But also, Code as a villain, you can't really give him props. I'm gonna be honest. You can't really give him props. First of all, he was lured from where he was over to here by Kawaki. And then on top of that, you getting slapped around by Kawaki. And before that, Momoshiki was giving you the works. Code, I'm sorry, as it stands right now with the finale of the anime, you was looking a little crusty, bro. You had to take Ada's little brother and use him as a shield in order to get away with stuff, which it's kind of nuts again that with this being the finale, Shikamaru's just like, who's that random kid? Like, a lot of things don't feel exactly proper for this to be any type of finale. Mind you, it's the Boruto Part 1 finale, but it just feels like they found any stopping point. Not any, but they try to find the best stopping point they possibly could so that they can, take a break for the anime scheduling and all that jazz. Because realistically, there's a lot of things that is like, so, if Boruto never picked up again, is Shikamaru always going to just stay there wondering, I wonder who was that kid? And how do we stop this Code guy? And is Code crazy, a schizophrenic, or was he talking to somebody? Like, what's all of these questions? So with it ending the way it did, it's kind of like, what? A little bit too arbitrary for my taste for it to have ended right there with certain aspects like that. The whipping that Kawaki gave Code, so much so that eventually Code had to dip out after using Damon as a shield, is again a testament to Kawaki as beast, and Code, he ain't living up to, that villain status, so to speak. Although it makes me wonder if Kawaki is this strong, right, with his new karma, how does he compare to other people? Also, let's talk a little bit about Kawaki's conscience. I want to talk about Kawaki's consciousness, or lack thereof, because even after the whole Boruto situation of him piercing through Boruto to save Naruto, while Naruto is there mourning and destroyed, Kawaki just looks stone-faced. And you could maybe say like, hey, because of his upbringing and everything that happened with Jigen and the abuse and all of that stuff, that Kawaki doesn't know how to respond to those situations. But I'm still going to say that, dog, I think that's one of the things that's lacking from Kawaki, and that's one of the things that is going to be his biggest downfall with whatever things that he does moving forward, is the fact that he seems to lack a bit of consciousness outside of anything to do with the Hokage. Like, if it's Naruto, he's like, ay, yo no puedo creer que me están haciendo. But if it's anything else, it's like, yo, dog, Boruto is like a brother to you. We've seen countless episodes of y'all being family and whatnot. The fact that you just did that and you're just there stone faced is like, god damn, homie, what do you have a consciousness, or did Jigen take that as you too? Like, what's going on here? So I feel like not having emotions or not being able to display them is going to be a big crippling factor for Kawaki moving forward, because fam, what are you doing, dog? You just did that to your brother and you just there like, at least the Hokage is safe, even though his son is dying, and he's dying internally as well because of it. And honestly, just that whole scene up until Boruto finally regains consciousness was just, again, I was like, man, this is the finale and you're there trying to make me sob over Naruto, losing his son. But once Boruto starts to awaken, once Boruto wakes up from, what happened to him, which is kind of nuts, he woke up from being pierced through the chest, but ultimately, and we get the explanation from Momoshiki that essentially he saved Boruto's life, which I'm going to throw the argument that right there kind of adds a little bit of a different dynamic to their relationship. You could throw the argument because, again, Momoshiki is acting very similar to what Kurama was to Naruto, of, constantly taunting and, laughing at his despair and his expense and all that jazz. But for Momoshiki to have saved him, he did it for selfish reasons. He explains like, yo, if you're gone, then my connection to the physical world is completely gone. I'm out of here. So that's the only reason why I used the remainder of karma to revive you. And now he can no longer turn into Momoshiki. So all those cursed memes of Boruto with Momoshiki's head on his body, it will never happen, because he basically used the remainder of what was supposed to be used to create that body from the karma to heal up Boruto. So thankfully we don't got to see those cursed images, but nevertheless, even with that being said, you still got to throw in the fact that the facts are the facts, is that Momoshiki saved Boruto's life. Whatever you want to say is reasoning and motive behind it, it is what it is, but he saved his life. So I think that's something that you got to add into there for down the road, what their relationship might be like later on. Not necessarily saying that Momoshiki is going to be a good guy, that he's going to be hugging up on Boruto, but if Kaguya could have had a change of heart back in the day, and we've seen Tonetti, and we've seen a lot of the other Otsutsuki that they've kind of been able to change their ways to a certain degree, it's not completely out the realm of possibility that the Otsutsuki, like Momoshiki, would be able to change. I mean, we've seen other Otsutsuki change their heart. We've seen that Kaguya, when she met a human, she changed her heart for a while and had kids with him and all that jazz. It's not out the realm that Momoshiki could at the very least grow some sort of a fondness for Boruto, especially seeing the heart that Boruto has, no pun intended, to be able to, you know, with all of that being said, still get up and whatnot. So yeah, that's something to take note of. And also, again, it kind of finalizes that Momoshiki is still there and he still possibly can take over Boruto's real body, but in terms of becoming Momoshiki, that's gone. There will never be Momoshiki again. It just might be that he could take over Boruto's body with his consciousness. And man, the emotional moments of when Naruto finally recognizes that Boruto is alive and gives him that hug. Oh, I wish Boruto wouldn't have ruined it with like, okay, Dad, I get it, because it was just such a good moment. It was such a tearjerker, to be honest with you. Yo, Naruto didn't deserve any of this. Honestly, this boy that went through so much in Naruto and Naruto Shippuden, to see him go through this right here, the worst pain anybody possibly could go through, it was heartbreaking. So to see him get that good moment before the anime goes off air, I was like, thank goodness. I could not bear for the anime to end with Naruto in this tragic pain. And then the way the anime wrapped itself up in the finale of seeing Kawaki following him getting out of the hospital, which definitely seems as though they're really pushing that Sumide x Kawaki situation, with Kawaki waking up and Sumide being by his bedside. It's like Boruto x Sarada, Kawaki x Sumide. Am I off on that? Let me know what you think about the pairing situation there. But the way the anime ended with that homage to the very beginning of the anime, of the time skip of them going at it on the Hokage Monument, with young Boruto and young Kawaki on the Hokage Monument. Very ominous, with both of them saying at the same time, this is my story. Kind of makes you think like Kawaki wants more. Kawaki wants more than just being like the Sasuke of the situation, which is fascinating to say the least. And overall, honestly, the ending of them going back to the time skip part, I wish they would have added a little bit more, even if it was just a smidge of like a little bit of the combat between the two of them. But yeah, it was beautifully done. Art and animation looked incredible, and the Boruto finale, it really went out with a bang. Now granted, again, we don't know how long it'll be until it returns. It could be 3 months, 6 months, it could be a year, who knows, because the anime staff is being very tight-lipped about it. But as it stands right now, the Boruto finale was great, and it sucks that I wish I could go off and, you know, completely say, man, I'm gonna miss Boruto so much, it was just greatness from top to bottom. But I would be lying, because Boruto's problems that led us to this point where we have to go off air right now is because of the constant anime canon, and probably ratings were starting to drop, I'd imagine, and things just wasn't working out. So I really hope that, with all of that being said, because Boruto, when it gets good, it's really good. You know, the canon stuff, if you cut out most of the anime original, I don't want to say all of it. Some of it was good. Sarada and Sasuke, you know, developing their relationship. Sarada and Sakura working together. The Shin Uchiha stuff. Like a lot of aspects of the anime original, so to speak. Although Shin Uchiha was an anime original. But either way, like Himawari and Naruto together. Like a lot of those aspects of the anime, I've seen the kids bond with their parents, was really good. It's just a lot of the other stuff that was like, whoa. And it's unfortunate, and I hope that the Boruto staff learns from this, and moving forward we can go with seasonal releases, 12 to 24 episodes a year, and I think most of us will be very happy and excited, and I think it'll really turn things around. Very curious what you guys thought though about this finale. How did you feel about episode 293? More episodes than Dragon Ball Z. Boruto, was it yay, nay? Did you like it? Did you hate it? How did you feel about Naruto's pain? What did you think about Momoshiki reviving Boruto? And what did you think about that final scene with Boruto and Kawaki and the split screen and all of that jazz? Like, it's going to be a little bit of a wait, but hopefully Boruto returns back better than ever. And I think they're dropping the Naruto Next Generation subtitle. It's just going to be called Boruto when it returns. So yeah, that's all I have for this one. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. Subscribe and hit that bell to get more, because the Boruto manga is still going, and I talk about a whole bunch of other stuff. And yeah, for the one time, thank you for all of the really dope memories, Boruto anime. Until you return, we will be waiting. Hopefully you come back stronger, because yeah, this is what Boruto is capable of, the series, when it's doing what it needs to do. Have an awesome one.
If the wolves could talk, they would probably read Bleak, and I'd probably say, bitch, get the fuck off me.